Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this replay. Marauders and Ghosts now trying to regroup as there's a very large army of Stalkers, Sentries, and an Immortal coming out from Echuchee. Echuchee now moving out with a fairly sizable army. Taking a look at the income, I do in fact have a larger income, but still his army size is much stronger as he was able to mass up a fairly large army. Now trying to run away with these units, trying to run back up, I think I should have gotten an EMP shockwave off, able to get that EMP shockwave, but I was unable to hit that Immortal, and that's really what I needed to really hit at this stage in the game. Siege Tank now going to try to get into position and perhaps start firing down onto that lower ground. No Siege Tech yet, so I'm going to try to just hold this position as to the best of my ability. That Siege Tank trying to deal damage, able to get a couple kills in, now trying to fire back, so those Stalkers are just going to push down on this command center. I realize that this is it, that I need to buy as much time as I can. Medevac in the air, going to try to heal up the rest of these Marauders as these units are going to once again engage. Trying to repair with this SCV, going to use that Siege Tank to try to blast away some of those Immortals or some of those Stalkers. But those so now five Stalkers and a single Immortal trying to push back in. I'm going to go ahead and raise that supply and then try to lift off this command center and pull it back because I do not have enough of an army. My army is at 250, so I want to buy as much time as I can, move that command center away so that I can build up a large enough army. So I'm sitting on 450 now, trying to produce Marauders, trying to get some units, trying to get some Siege Tanks as well, as I have, a single Medevac, 2 Marauders just to hold off this very large army that's pushing on my front door. Those Stalkers and that Immortal not really wanting to get up into this position. He unfortunately does not have any observers, so he has no idea what I have. Siege Tank now gonna go ahead and head into that siege mode, try to start firing back against these units, trying to slow down some of those Immortals, able to get some hits off, trying to get another scan, but still fair number of units sitting back over here. I'm getting another Siege Tank, gonna go ahead and I'm actually building some more Siege Tanks, trying to get some additional units and getting an additional barracks now. So I'm trying to mass up as many units as I can. I'm gonna go ahead and move this barracks from here to here, and then I know that was a really risky move, opening up my front door like that for temporarily, but I was pretty sure that he had all of his units on that back side. Echuchee sitting on a 275 army and still just trying to test this front door. A couple Marauders, a Medevac sitting in position, trying to push back whatever attack he would be able to gather. So that Siege Tank in a fairly decent position. Medevac, now a reactor core on that Medevac, and now it's getting a secondary Siege Tank. So using that secondary Siege Tank, gonna go ahead and move that Siege Tank right into this position in order to get some additional reinforcements, perhaps get a little bit more range, moving that SCV back in play, and going to start building some supply depots down on that low ground. If I can build some supply depots on that low ground, it will give me additional sight to really push back. So the Siege Tank's now able to do a little bit of a fire, and more of those Stalkers taking damage. I'm very low on gas at this stage, so still getting a lot of minerals. So I go ahead and put down 2 barracks and try to get down more Marines. So amassing up a fair amount of Marines in order to fight back this attack. Now with the supply depot on this low ground, acting as my spotter in order to get me additional sight beyond these Siege Tanks. So Siege Tanks able to see a little bit further. Taking a look back at everyone's vision once again, I can see that Echuchee now already getting another Nexus, and this Nexus is going to give in a very strong economic lead. Trying to get some more supply depots. Perhaps I can get these supply depots in position so that even if units try to get in and try to get close enough to shoot down that Siege Tank, they will in fact not be able to. More Stalkers now running around the side of that map, so a fair number of Stalkers, a fair number of 2 Immortals, and like a dozen and a half Stalkers just trying to push in. Taking a look at the income, Echuchee now sitting on 29 Harvesters to my 24, so that's looking fairly strong. But this is really buying me enough time, and I'm now going to move out with 4 Medevacs right as he's also pushing in on his attack. So things definitely not looking good for me. Wanting to start shooting back, able to push back, able to deal a fair amount of damage to those Stalkers. Stalkers now over there on that backside, and now in come the Medevacs. Medevacs, each of them with almost a full cargo, having Marauders and Marines, and in come these units trying to destroy the rest of these probes. Probes trying to run from their lives, but a lot of them getting taken down very quickly. Only 1 or 2 able to escape out. So taking a look at the income now, it's only 9 Harvesters against 24. And able to shoot back even further, and I still have that siege tank fighting back. He's really unable to push onto that high ground, so he's really hurting as I'm able to just continue to deal a fair amount of damage into this position and trying to take down this fleet beacon, making sure that he doesn't get any motherships or any additional units. I don't think he actually trains a mothership. No training of that mothership. Stalkers and Immortals. I'm still waiting on that low ground. Finally, an observer comes into position so he can start shooting at this siege tank. So able to finally see off and then trying to start seeing that one single other siege tank. So now another additional siege tank just trying to fire back. More units firing back, and with that siege tank really, or that observer really giving sight. But coming back over here, Marines and Marauders still trying to finish off the rest of this base. I want to take down these warp gates, take down the rest of these buildings. I do in fact have an engineering bay, but I'm not quite yet researching any additional upgrades. Now SCV just sitting back over here, trying to hold back this attack, but it's not going to really work as those Stalkers are going to really be able to just push in and destroy the rest of my supply depots. I start lifting off my orbital command, and I'm going to start lifting off the rest of my buildings in order to try to survive. Here we have a couple Marauders, and a couple Assimilators back in the base. Zealots getting warped in, but those Zealots without charge getting just walking to their death. Echuchee pretty much has no more base either, so this really becomes a base race. Echuchee has 7 Harvesters to my 2 Harvesters at this stage in the game. 1 Harvester sitting over here, and now Medivacs and Marines are not really able to continue to heal any more of these units. And all these tech labs, all these buildings being left behind. I for some reason, don't lift off this starport in time, as these Stalkers now trying to push in over here. I'm going to go ahead and move this orbital command into this position and try to get healed back up. As soon as I see Echuchee will be revealed, I'm a little bit, I feel much better, as I know that he doesn't have any additional nexuses. If he doesn't have any additional nexus, he's going to be revealed, and I will see every single building on the map in order for me to kill him. Taking down his last Harvester, no more Harvesters for him. And now I'm going to go ahead and just try to run in and try to take down the rest of these buildings, as I know that there is in fact a pylon and 2 assimilators being left behind. Trying to run away with the starport. Starport down to 246 hit points. Will continue to burn, as this last SCV should have tried to make a run out for it. Anyways, coming back over here, I have a single command, orbital command. I should have started using mules in order to mine additional minerals, but there's not much I can really do, as I can't produce any additional units. Moving out with these Marines and these Marauders, I'm going to go ahead and get picked up back by my Medivacs and try to take down these pylons, this last pylon in this position. Taking a look at Echuchee, Echuchee is down to 115 minerals, and that is it. I do in fact see this pylon. If you take a look at my point of view, I see this one pylon in this position, so I want to go ahead and try to take it out. Going to go ahead and pick up my units once again, move back out, and continue to move. I do a quick scan to make sure that there's no additional units, no traps nearby. As I move out with these units, Stalkers now trying to come in. I go ahead and move a barracks off to this high ground over here, or this island location, knowing that he has no real chance of trying to take down that building. Orbital command, don't know why I don't lift it off as well, but those factories that can hide over here over this chasm, making it so that those units cannot really shoot down any of those buildings, is gonna really give me the game. Once again, Medivacs now moving out, gonna go ahead and take down this last pylon, and this is gonna be Echuchee's last building. So that is gonna be GG, as it's gonna be a complete base destruction in order for me to win. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay here on Desert Oasis.